All right, welcome to Smokey Reacts. I'm your boy journalist, and on this one, we are here to do some due diligence because later tonight I'm about to be going live with my boy Chip to discuss the Kendrick Lamar situation. However, this legal situation has now come up from Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, and the best source I've found or know of personally to go over that type of information would be from Cuff Boys. So I've been watching my boy actually pretty much cover the entire Young Thug trial. That's been my main source for all right, cool. We're gonna get the facts with not that I mind bro's opinion, but he just doesn't really just say anything too stupid, and he just gives you the facts to kind of figure out how you want to feel about everything. So when this came up, I was like, I wish I knew the best source to go to. And then I seen Buddy do this, and I was like, psh, thank you, Lord Jesus. So now I'll be able to get the most concise amount of facts on the situation, but also be able to give my opinion. And that's where we're going to take the video from there. And yeah, pretty much that's it. If you could please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description. If it's your first time coming to the channel, I'm trying to hit 20K by the end of the year. So we're 600 and change away from that. So if you could do that, that'd be nice. And then also, I just dropped a new single with my boy, Free One. It's called Balsamic and Bruschetta. It is available right now on all streaming platforms, and that'll be in the description as well. That said, all announcements out the way. Let's get into this video and see what we got to say.
Against Universal Music Group for allegedly falsifying the success of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us diss track. They allege the record label launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming.
Why are they being ops, bro? You're not getting the ad off.
Drake's company has filed a petition against Universal Music Group for allegedly falsifying the success of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us diss track. They allege
thought they was gonna get that ad off. Psych.
To manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves, with Not Like Us to make the song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. Drake is also signed to UMG through Republic Records, so this is serious. He's basically attacking his own big label above him because he's a sub-label below them. Kendrick is signed to Interscope, which is also a sub-label under UMG. But UMG might have done some messed up stuff, so you'll see. Hit subscribe. Here we go, boys. All right, here we go.
Also, my whole point of why I wanted to look into this is, if it is true, it's just putting into the public perspective what actually happens for your favorite artist when you're just like, oh, I love this guy. It's like, no, you've been market manipulated to like some of the artists that you do like. They've been forced down your throat. And the people that actually are just, we'll say, independent artists that are trying to work to get their name out there. This is why people are like, oh, it's so hard to actually make music in today's time, is because of actions like this. And this is why there was that gap of time after payola got broken, broken up and shown to the world that yo, these people are paying for radio time. This is why we had that small gap of time between, we'll say, the mid-early 2000s to 2012, 2013, when they were trying to refigure out how they were going to do payola again, where you got so many good artists that typically would not have been able to break through because of these structures. So this is why I'm like, let's see. Because if it's true, both of them is suckers. If it's not, only one of them is suckers. Because you got tumped up in the rap beef, and now you want to say, oh, they paid for it. You've been paying for streams too, bro.
Here we go. Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York, matter of applications, Frozen Moments LLC. Apparently this is Drake's LLC, I think. UMG Records and Spotify USA respondents. As member of staff reflect on highlights of 2021, the CEO of UMG, Lucien Grange, remarked on it being harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. Spotify is the world's most popular audio streaming subscription service. As the end of third quarter 2024, Spotify boasted more than 640 million monthly active users. 252 million subscribers. Spotify pays music companies like UMG for the right to license songs so it can play them on its streaming and subscription platforms. In 2023 alone, Spotify paid more than $9 billion in royalties to music labels and producers. Hip-hop is one of the most popular genres on Spotify, amounting to nearly a quarter of all streams on Spotify globally in 2023. Spotify and UMG have a long-standing symbiotic relationship. As one of the Spotify's earliest...
Well, it's parasitic. It's parasitic, not symbiotic. You got bent over a barrel, Spotify, and almost lost your business. And then you had to do a major deal with all the major record labels to pay them a percentage of the money that you guys generate a year. It's not symbiotic in any form of the word. It's parasitic.
supporters, UMG entered in a multi-year global license agreement with Spotify in 2020. UMG and Spotify collaborate on strategic marketing campaigns and products, and in 2024 announced an expansion of their strategic partnership through which Spotify will amplify music discovery and social interaction, enhance fan experiences across the platform for UMG's family of artists and songwriters. Based on UMG's financial reporting, Spotify paid UMG around $2.28 billion in 2023. Holy shit, which amounted to 19% of UMG's total revenues in 2023. Spotify is 19% of Universal Music Group's revenue. That's a big chunk. Streaming is essential to UMG's current bottom line and its future business strategy. In a report related to the third quarter of 2024, UMG noted a nearly 29% year-over-year decrease in downloads and other digital revenue because of the continued format shift towards streaming across the music industry. UMG's long-term strategy relies on accelerating the growth of and monetization from streaming and subscription. In October 2024, UMG unveiled a new slogan, Streaming 2.0, which illustrates the importance UMG places on saturating the streaming market. In 2024, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices to break through the noise on Spotify and likely other music platforms. It has instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with the song, quote-unquote, Not Like Us. Oh my god. In order to make the song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. Oh my god. They must have really good evidence of this for this to even be a real thing a lawyer would do. UMG released Not Like Us on May 4, 2024, and pursuant to various contractual rights, UMG Interscope Records division has exclusive control over licensing the song. On behalf and belief, UMG charged Spotify licensing rates 30% lower than its usual licensing rates for Not Like Us in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the songs to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. UMG charged a lower rate to Spotify for that song specifically. In exchange, they just push the song harder. That's kind of cringe, right?
But is that payola? I give you the song for a cheaper rate, so you then are happier to push it. It's just like if I sell you t-shirts for a cheaper price, you're going to be more incentivized to sell those t-shirts at a higher price or whatever price you want because you didn't have to take the haircut initially to get the product. Is that a form of payola that we can consider it currently under the laws? That's where I'm like, I don't know, because I don't remember payola laws that well. But if you're not allowed to sell me music at a cheaper price so people then can be able to be surfaced that music at a higher rate, it's not good. It's not good. But are they breaking the law with doing so? I don't know currently.
Right? Is this real? Is there evidence of this? Neither UMG nor Spotify disclosed that Spotify had received compensation of any kind in exchange for recommending the song. Under the information and belief, Spotify pays UMG licensing fees through their wires and mail.
That's the problem, though, is they didn't get compensation. They were charged less, so the compensation that they have to pay to UMG was lesser. So UMG was willing to take a lesser cut or split of what they would get on the back end to help a business partner. Is that payola? I don't know. It could just be a standard business practice because people do it all the time. Say you buy liquor and you buy liquor from the same distributor all the time, and it was $20 a bottle for $20 for every 70 mil that you was gonna buy, but you buy from the same guy all the time, and he's like, mate, like this shit really only cost me like 8. Give me 12, and now you've undercut what you're supposed to pay. But is that illegal? That's where I'm just like, are you complaining about a standard business practice and calling it payola? Because if we want to do this where the rate has to be paid equally amongst everybody that is sending their music over to Spotify, then also I believe that the rate that artists that do the most streaming on the platform, they don't deserve to get more money for being, we'll say, streamed more than other people. But that's what happens currently, is if you don't hit a certain threshold on Spotify, they just roll that money up into like Drake's pocket or Taylor Swift's pocket or Kendrick's pocket.
UMG directly or through Interscope also conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. Okay, let's be honest here, Drake. You've done the same thing. Bro is self-snitching. This is a thing that the whole industry does. Drake has been Drake for fucking what, 10, 15 years? We don't think Drake has been botted at all. That's 100% happen. 100%. That's where I draw the line there. He's been put on playlists for years. Bots are software programs designed to mimic human behavior to appear to be real social media accounts. One individual, unknown to petitioner, revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Mr. Kendrick Lamar, Duckworth's label, Interscope, paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the first days of the release of Not Like Us, with the goal of jump-starting the song's spread and turning it into a crazy hit on the platform. The whistleblower describes Spotify as the easiest platform to bot because it does not, like other streaming platforms, have certain security measures when it comes to bot protection. Spotify doesn't have bot protection. That seems just not true, right? There's got to be some sort of bot protection.
There's definitely bot protection. The BTS folks, definitely have dealt with bot protection and with how they get streamed or how they stream their music. They're considered bots sometimes, and then Spotify deletes those streams. It's do they care who is botting is more so where the lax in protection comes from.
Every song would have millions of streams in. The whistleblower further revealed that on May 6, 2024, an individual affiliated with Interscope sent him a payment of $2,500 via the digital platform Zelle, which is owned by a number of banks, and that he was promised another $2,500 and a percentage of the song's total sales for this initial push. He was promised $5,000 and a percentage of the song's total sales of Not Like Us. This seems kind of crazy, right? Wait, why is it saying?
That just seems stupid. Who would give even 3% of Not Like Us would be somewhere in the millions at this point. You're going to get a piece of that for a $5,000 down payment. Like, the math on that doesn't make sense. Not at all.
DJ Academics exposed by hacker for epic bot streams. Wait, this is not from DJ Academics, is this? They're really citing a DJ Academics video down here. They don't have real evidence besides what this guy said on the Academics video. This is not a good look for this lawyer who filed this. On information belief, UMG hired other unnamed parties to use bots to promote Not Like Us and also inflate the streams of Not Like Us music video. UMG appears to have used similar tactics with other streaming services. On information belief, UMG paid or approved payments to Apple Inc. to have its voice-activated digital assistant Siri purposely misdirect users to Not Like Us. What? Wait, Siri purposely misdirects users to Not Like Us? That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. Online sources reported that when they use Siri to play... Wait, online sources. So they don't have real evidence? Like, they only have online sources of this shit? Online sources reported that when users asked Siri to play the album Certified Lover Boy by recording artist Aubrey Drake Graham, aka Drake, Siri instead played Not Like Us, which contains the lyric certified pedophile as an allegation against Drake. Wait, that's the biggest troll ever, but is that real though? Did that actually happen? I feel like that's a meme. I feel like that's not true, right? UMG engaged in similar pay-to-play schemes to increase the airplay of Not Like Us on the radio. Third party indicating that at least one UMG employee made payments to an independent radio promoter serving as an intermediary who would also agree to transfer those payments to certain radio stations or radio station employees. These radio stations subsequently played Not Like Us without disclosing that they had been paid to do so. Practice known as payola is prohibited by the Communications Act, has been subject to regulatory scrutiny by a number of executive agencies. In 2006, UMG agreed to pay $12 million in a settlement with New York Attorney General following an investigation involving accusations that UMG executives have used broad array of pay-for-play tactics to secure radio airplay for music. So they've already been investigated for this in 2006 for pay-to-play.
Yeah, that was like the end of the pay-for-play era. What is his name? I want to say it's like Anthony something. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that really bust up the people doing payola. I'm just like, I don't know.
An investigation involving accusations that UMG executives have used broad array of pay-for-play tactics to secure radio airplay for music. So they've already been investigated for this in 2006 for pay-to-play on radio, but they're saying they're doing it again. This just seems like the salty guy that lost the rap battle has a vendetta. Dude, are we really gonna sit here and act like Drake's songs have never been botted? It's 100% happened, whether he wanted it to or not. Like, I guarantee the artists don't even know that happens half the time. It's like their management or label doing it. In connection with UMG's settlement, then New York Attorney General Elliot Spitzer explained consumers have a right to not be misled about the way in which the music they hear on the radio is selected. He continued to say that pay-for-play makes a mockery of claims that only the best...
That's what I was going to say, is if this brings down Clear Channel, I will be so happy. I will be so happy if it breaks up what's happening in terrestrial radio right now, because terrestrial radio is dog shit. Like, the amount of music that you don't get to hear because they play the same 15 artists every hour for the next 8 hours, and then it's a new DJ, and then for the next 8 hours it's the same 15 new artists. So maybe there's like 30 artists that get played a day, and then in those 30 they slide in an extra 5 that you've never heard of. That's a terrible portion of the music that you should be actually getting, we'll say, exposed to. Like, it's really terrible.
From his popular music is broadcast. Separately, in 2005, UMG was sued by 2 radio promotion companies alleging fraudulent pay-to-play practices. In February 2020, the Federal Trade Commission released guidance stating that by paying an influencer to pretend that their endorsement or review is untainted by a financial relationship, this is a legal payola. On information belief, UMG employed a similar scheme by paying social media influencers to promote and endorse the song and video. For example, petitioner understands that UMG paid popular NFR podcasts. No way. Why is NFR podcast getting Stray Bullets, which has nearly 300,000 subscribers on YouTube and 330,000 on X, to promote Not Like Us and its video without disclosing the payment. As part of its deal with UMG, the NFR podcast published podcast episodes, tweets, and other content publicly about the song. And in a sea change for UMG's internal policy, UMG removed the song's copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the song for the first time in UMG history, which further incentivized YouTubers to spread the song. Wait, the whitelisting of the song is a W.
No, but the whitelisting did not happen. And I'm telling you as a person that reacted to the song. That song never actually got whitelisted. Like, at all. They did not whitelist the song.
Like, if you're bitching about the song being whitelisted.
Now, they whitelisted it probably directly for RFN or whatever the podcast is. That channel probably got whitelisted. But it did not get a mass whitelisting.
You're a bitch. I've literally gotten $300,000 taken from me from record labels, at least from reaction videos. So that you can fuck off if you're bitching about whitelisting a song. Of course, it incentivized influencers to spread the song. I don't like that part at all. Every song should be whitelisted for reaction videos. UMG's scheme to ensure Not Like Us broke.
It's not even every song should be whitelisted for reaction videos. If you are actually making a real reaction video, every record label that is stopping you from getting money for it, they are abusing YouTube's broken copyright system. And because YouTube is a major business, they tend to believe the major business of a record label instead of the reaction person. Because the amount of songs I don't get to make money off of that I actually have done a proper reaction to that is covered by fair use, and the system gets abused against me, and I either just have to take it because I can't just keep adding strikes because then I'll just lose my channel. That's a problem. That is a massive problem within the reaction space.
Through on Spotify. Not Like Us broke Spotify records as Interscope posted on its X account. Interscope retweeted NFR podcast to reach 300 million Spotify streams in 35 days. To date, Not Like Us has almost 900 million streams on Spotify and holds the record for the biggest single day of streams and most streamed diss track in Spotify history. So far, it just seems like they're listing all the success of the song. Do they have real evidence of bots of the 30 million streams? Or is it just a hacker on DJ Academic's stream? Not Like Us has spent 27 weeks on Spotify City chart for New York City, which ranks the weekly streaming popularity of songs by users in New York, New York. Within a week of its initial release, Not Like Us broke the record for the most streamed song in a 7-day period with 96 million streams. After UMG published the video, Not Like Us returned to number 1. And the same week, the song was streamed an additional 53.8 million times and played on the radio an additional 40 million times. The video ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music video charts. So just listing all the accolades of like the achievements of the song and shit. UMG touted the record-breaking success. On July 16, 2024, Interscope reposted on X that the song had become the best-selling rap song of 2024 in the US. Most streamed song of 2024 and all these summer hit playlist bullshit. UMG's schemes to artificially inflate the popularity of Not Like Us were motivated at least in part by the desire of executives at Interscope to maximize their own profits. Isn't that every record label ever in the history of time? Record labels are the scum of earth. We already know this. Why is Drake acting like he innocent here, bro? Drake acting like he never signed anyone. Drake has signed artists to OVO, clearly, right? Like,
where is Roy Woods? That nigga was supposed to be out of here like NASA. Never seen it happen. Popcan, boy, I like that nigga, but he's doing well for himself outside of the Drake cosign. Baca ain't getting nowhere, nothing. He like, and I love that. What's it called? Louis Pops across my body. This is not for fashion. That's a Drake song. He wrote it for Baca when he got out of jail. Smiley, fuck off. Division, you niggas fucked it. Y'all gave that nigga too much music. That's why y'all don't have no big hits right now, or at least what I would consider big hits. McConan, we know how he feel about Drake. Naomi Sharon, that shorty's last album, oh my God, it's so good. That's probably Majid Jordan and then Party Next Door, but we know how Party feel about that. Well, not Party, not the one that feel that way. Party's all right. Like, his pen has kept him alive. Drake's work, I don't think so. Majid Jordan, same kind of situation. Y'all gave too many songs to that nigga. Almost got yourself weekended. Naomi Sharon, though, that's probably the best artist he has. And that's just, Naomi is so fucking good. Her fucking album, Obsidian, banging. It's so good.
all these OVO artists. That's the whole point. Record labels try to profit. What are we doing here? Why is he acting like he's never done that? Signing all these people, Drake, was for you to profit. I know that's like a dark way to think about music, but that's the business.
No, it's to take songs off of them niggas. That's what most of those people on that list. Most of those people on that list. Let's see how many people on this list.
Signed anyone. Drake has signed artists to OVO, clearly, right? Like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of those 10 artists, he took major songs off of. Major. Especially Majid Jordan. Come on, stop playing with me. Majid definitely got rent.
To think about music, but that's the business of it. What are we doing? UMG executives have an annual incentive program pursuant to which they are rewarded for meeting and surpassing sales and profit projections. Incentives are largely based on the specific UMG division rather than the performance of UMG generally. For example, the annual incentive or bonus of Interscope CEO John Janik is based on 90% of the financial success of Interscope and only 10% of the final success of UMG generally. How do they know that? How do they know this man's bonus structure? Only 10% of the final success of UMG generally. How do they know that? How do they know this man's bonus structure? That's crazy. Thus, information believes Janik and other executives at Interscope have been incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope through the promotion of Not Like Us and revitalizing the impact on the artist's prior recording catalog, including its first 5 studio albums, which are owned by Interscope. Petitioners receive information that UMG has been taking steps in an apparent effort to conceal its schemes, including but not limited to by terminating employees associated with or perceived as having loyalty to Drake. Okay, that's fucked up. If that's real, see, bro, record labels, the scum of the earth. I hope you guys know that. They don't care about anything besides profit margins, bro. Indeed, UMG has demonstrated that it has no interest in taking responsibility for its misconduct. Over the past several months, Drake has repeatedly sought to engage UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions. Wait, what? They've been talking? UMG has refused to engage in negotiations and insisted that UMG is not responsible for its own actions. Instead, UMG has pointed the finger at Mr. Ducks. Who is Mr. Duckworth? Kendrick's last name is Duckworth? That's the worst last name I've ever heard. I didn't know that. Mr. Duckworth insisted that Drake should initiate legal action against Mr. Duckworth rather than UMG, and even threatening to bring its own legal claims against Mr. Duckworth if Drake were to pursue claims against UMG. Jesus, so they were like, no, you go sue Kendrick and not us. And they threatened to sue Kendrick themselves if Drake sued them. So now apparently that might happen. This is so messy. Streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Every time a song breaks through, it means another artist does not. UMG's choice to saturate the music market with Not Like Us comes at the expense of other artists like Drake. Wait, hold on. That song was going to break through no matter what. They acting like Not Like Us wasn't going to break through. Is there real evidence of this being botted? Like, I need to see this. Not Like Us was a hit instantly. What are they talking about? As Drake is Petitioner's sole owner, and petitioners own the copyright to Drake's entire catalog. Petitioners suffered economic harm as a result of UMG's scheme. Drake admitting that he suffered economic harm to Not Like Us. This is such an L for Drake. He lost the battle, bro.
That to make it a legal case that he can actually bring to the court, he has to provide some sort of damages. And you would have to be lying to say that he didn't suffer some financial loss by losing, we'll say, market share to the public perception of his self now. That's where I'm like, it's still a fuck nigga move to do this because you are the problem. You, the DJs, the selectors, the playlisters of today's time, they don't find new music. They get paid to promote music, and that's the issue. Used to be people used to go promote and push music and find it. Now, man, be like, yo, give me 50 quid so I can then put it somewhere. And it's like, I hate you. I hate you niggas. Y'all are like the actual parasites. And then niggas in power positions like Drake, niggas like Ebro talk about, oh, the industry's just like, it's so broken in today's time. You niggas broke it. You niggas are the ones that actually broke the industry and got us all fucked up like this now. But wouldn't it be like, oh, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we going to fix this.
Right? That's what this means, right? Like, if you're running the court for this, you lost the fight. The beef, you lost the beef, bro. I'm sorry. Frozen Moments has commenced a special proceeding pursuant to CPLR 30102C to seek pre-action discovery to allow petitioner to identify appropriate defendants and frame a complaint for a claim under the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, identify appropriate defendants and frame a complaint under New York Deceptive Business Act and New York False Advertising Act. Is that basically asking for discovery to charge these motherfuckers with RICO? What am I reading? Oh, civil RICO. Okay. Petitioner is a viable cause of action for civil RICO, which predicate acts of wire fraud, mail fraud, or bribery for UMG's payments to unknown third parties in the form of reducing licensing fees to Spotify. However, petitioner requires additional information in order to frame his complaint. Petitioner requires information about the method by which the parties were paid in order to determine which underlying predicate acts to plead and require information about which benefits were conferred upon UMG in exchange for the payments. Deceptive business practices and false advertising. Petitioner has information that agents of UMG paid at least one third party to to use bots to stream the song on Spotify. And on information and belief, this practice extended to multiple third parties to artificially stream the song and video. UMG also gave financial benefits to Spotify and other unknown third parties to promote and play the song and video without disclosing those payments. UMG has then touted the success of the song and video, knowing the success was artificially inflated. Is there real evidence of this? Because I feel like that song was going to be a hit no matter what. It wasn't.
No, it's not. If there is real evidence, what he is asking for is for a court to legally force UMG and Duckworth and Kendrick's people to open your books up. And I also get to look at your financials. So like how CoffeeZilla will take a ledger and he'll be like, this is this person's wallet. This is this person's wallet. We can see from this wallet to this wallet that transaction has happened. Explain what this transaction is for. That's what Drake is trying to do. But in a court system, instead of doing it like if your record label robbed you and you ask for an audit where you get to see how the money is spent, that's what he's trying to do with this case, is to prove, hey, with this is how the money was spent. But in doing so, if this is a master plan, like tinfoil hat theory, how this would work is Drake gets access to the books, but because Drake gets access to the books, he then gets to control the information after finding out where the payments go. However, how discovery works in court, whatever he gets access to, I get access to, because you have me on the court case as a plaintiff or as a defendant or whatever it is. So now Kendrick's going to find out how UMG's spending their money. And let's say he wasn't doing payola and Drake's not doing payola, but Drake, in putting in this court case, has now given Kendrick access to books that he would like to ask for, but he can't ask for them because he is a Universal Music darling. So now you've just given me the thing I've wanted by thinking I was doing the thing that you've been doing all along. And if you have been doing that all along, I now, as your opponent, I get access to the same books you do. And when you find out I wasn't, but you were, now you've really killed your entire career, because now you look crazy putting a RICO charge on a man. You look crazy putting this case on a man. And then also, now I have the books that you thought you were only going to keep to yourself. Now I see that you also have been doing the thing that you tried to accuse me of. Boy. If this is how he baited my man out, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's some real Sun Tzu shit.
Inflated that much, right? Without the requested pre-litigation discovery, petitioner lacks sufficient information to identify the known but anonymous third-party streamer and to identify any additional streamers whom UMG paid. Aubrey Drake Graham affirms the following, and he signed this shit yesterday. Wasn't he on stream yesterday with XQC? I'm gonna have to say it. I'm not on Drake's side with this. I don't like if UMG actually fired people. That's fucked up. But if he's gonna sit here and act like he hasn't profited off signing artists and OVO hasn't inflated numbers before, that's 100% happened. Every single record label has inflated numbers before. Every single one. They don't give a fuck about anyone. I don't know why Drake's acting like his numbers have been 100% real his whole career. What's going on? This is cringe. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Peace out.
All right. Last little bit of what I'm going to say is, if the boy's music has been pure sales, and what I mean by that is no bots, no nothing, he's smart to call this case if he can actually prove it. But if he's going on efficient exploration trying to see and he's been baited out, it's about to get even worse for this boy, because you look like a real sucker doing something like this. But if it comes out that Kung Fu Kenny has payola'd his way to make Not Like Us the song that we think it is, he's not wrong to bring the case. I just got to be fair. It's the only way I know how to be. I got to be fair, because this is the thing that, for me working in the industry, especially my time in Los Angeles, I just used to see not payola practices, but how the industry makes sure to take care of the people that it wants it to take care of. So yeah, you was one of them, man. You were the reason that the industry works the way it works. But now the industry doesn't seem to be working in your favor, and now you want to be like, oh, that nigga did it. He punched me in the eye. Let's go find out why he's able to put his hands on me, because nobody else has been able to put their hands on me. This was not on my bingo card. Diddy in jail, Drake suing Kendrick. This has been a wild year, boy. 2024 is just up. Yeah, that's it for me, though. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description. See you on the next one. I'm out of here.